This is Newsbeat from OU Daily. I'm Peggy Dodd.
And I'm Megan Pratt.
And here's your weekly headlines. The Board of Regents saw a packed agenda for this month's meeting. A search committee has been tasked with finding a new dean for the OU College of Law, with current Dean Kathleen Guzman stepping down at the end of the academic year. Several OU college deans are on the hiring committee, as well as a student representative and a litigation lawyer acting as an external community member on the committee. The search for a new dean of Gaylord College of Journalism and Mass Communications continues as the board finalizes the position's qualification requirements and the formation of a search committee.
Search committee has not been approved or created for the David L. Boren College of International Studies dean position. And interim dean Jonathan Stalling will finish his time in the position by the end of the year. The board also discussed temporary construction of a multimodal path on the west side of North Flood Avenue next to Westheimer Airport. This path would allow travelers to use multiple types of transportation when visiting and traveling in Norman. Additionally, the board considered enhancing employee sick leave come January. If approved, extended sick leave could be used towards the illness of family members.
The board discussed a scoreboard project for the new softball stadium with a price tag of over $1.4 million and the pending approval of the field's acquisition and installation. Expansion and improvement of the gymnastics facility was also discussed, featuring a budget of $15.9 million. The previously named Charlie Coe Golf Center may be renamed to honor longtime donor Jerry Ransom. Coe would be honored inside the clubhouse and also in the naming of the driveway. The Daily covered the Regents meeting on Thursday. That article is currently live on oudaily.com.
Norman Central Library will close as the Pioneer Library System Board of Trustees unanimously voted to relocate its services. Executive Director of Pioneer Library System Lisa Wells said that they are looking for new locations that don't require funding and are close to the central location and general neighborhood. The library will be relocated due to water damage and mold found in the sheetrock. Kelly Sitzman, Pioneer Library Systems Director of Communications, expressed disappointment about the closure, but excitement towards the possibilities the move can provide. Here's Sitzman.
Part of our strategic plan is to reimagine the library, and so this is another opportunity to get to do that. So we're excited to find new ways to meet people where they are, explore different locations for pop-up programming.
Norman City Council met Tuesday to discuss federal grants for the Norman Police Department's specialty training, as well as floodplain ordinances and rezoning requests. The grant comes from the United States Department of Justice and the Bureau of Justice Assistance to provide specialty training to NPD. The grant sits at over $50,000, with over $33,000 going towards the training. This specialty training will include improving teleconferencing and equipment, as well as forensic and analytical staff training. Remaining funds from the grant will go to the Moore Police Department and the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office. Council also approved the revision of the city's flood ordinance and rezoning efforts. To see full coverage of Tuesday's meeting, visit oudaily.com.
Red Rock Behavioral Health Services was announced as Cleveland County's primary mental health provider by Norman legislatures earlier this month. As Griffin Memorial Hospital is replaced by a new facility in Oklahoma City, Red Rock plans to develop an adult crisis unit and recovery care center in Norman. The projects will cost about $10 million, according to Red Rock CEO Verna Faust. Keith Hayes, Deputy Commissioner of the Oklahoma Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services, described this move as a big step in meeting people where they're at.
Representative Jacob Rosecrans, Annie Mins, and Jared Deck all attended the meeting in support of Red Rock.
The Red Rock Norman Adult Crisis Unit is located at 900 East Main Street, Building 52.
The city of Norman held a pre-development meeting Thursday to discuss the $1 billion proposal for a new Norman OU entertainment district. The district would include a new arena for OU athletics, housing, shopping, and corporate spaces. The proposed area for the district is on Rock Creek Road and 24th Avenue Northwest. Pre-development meetings give surrounding community members an opportunity to voice their concerns. Before that meeting, the city discussed pre-development plans for another new district coined Sooner Village. The area would be home to hotels, apartments, townhouses, corporate spaces, storage spaces, and shopping centers. Go to oudaily.com to see the daily's coverage of Thursday's meetings.
Norman Public Schools Superintendent Nick Migliorino delivered the State of the Schools update on Wednesday to share student and teacher success. Norman Public Schools will start offering associate degree programs for students starting in the 2024-2025 school year. This is possible due to a partnership with Tulsa Community College that would allow high schoolers to graduate with an associate's degree. Migliorino also discussed the success of the Oklahoma Aviation Academy and the creation of 2 new programs for students, the Tango Flight Pathway and the Civil Air Patrol Cadet Program.
The Tango Flight Pathway allows 11th and 12th grade students to build a federal aviation certified plane over 2 years. The Civil Air Patrol Cadet Program trains students in aerospace, fitness, leadership, and character. Migliorino touched on a new middle school plan NPS wants to implement in August. It would focus on organization, physical and emotional well-being, teaching, and learning. The main goal is to create continuity across all 4 middle schools. NPS has also started Career Pathways this year, which is a resource that shows students and parents how the education from elementary to high school is utilized in the workforce.
Red Dirt Collective, a Norman nonprofit, will hold its first holiday-themed mutual aid fair on Saturday. The event is being held at the Irving Recreation Center, and all proceeds go towards supporting the needs of the working class in Norman. The event will have resources available like groceries, clothing, diapers, health supplies, and home goods. And the organization will also be providing health services to attendees.
Beanstalk Coffee and Snow opened a new location on Tuesday. The coffee shop is located at 207 East Main Street and is the 3rd location in Norman.
OU Daily's winter magazine is on the racks now. Here's a preview of the stories featured in that issue. The first story details Norman's plans to develop new local venues to accommodate growing audiences. As OU enters the SEC, many business owners are looking to boost the music scene, with it being a central element in the city's popularity. Sherry Jackson, executive director of Norman Music Festival and The Depot, spoke about how strong the music scene is in Norman, but that there is room to grow.
The second focuses on the rising cost of college and the younger generation switch from a traditional 4-year degree to trade school. OU President Joseph Harris Jr. spoke with the Daily on how the university walks the fine line of excellence and degree value when considering the cost of an OU education. Here's Harris.
How do you keep up excellence and affordability, value, and make sure everyone that has the talent and the ability, at least from Oklahoma and hopefully beyond, has the ability to come? And the answer is continue to work on cutting costs where you don't have to have them.
Next is the story about the history of Griffin Memorial Hospital and what its move means for Norman. Many Norman residents and representatives had concerns about what the move would mean for health and job access in the city. Representative Jared Deck expressed his concern about this and was worried about the gaps in healthcare that Norman residents may face in the coming years. Here's Deck.
Our patients come first, our employees come next, and our community, because our community depends on it.
The fourth details the need for diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Upon recent attacks on these programs by the Oklahoma State Legislature, university professors, students, and staff expressed the importance of having DEI initiatives on campus. Director of Diversity Enrichment Programs at OU, Dorian Billups, touched on the need for students to feel seen, heard, and supported. Here's Billups.
If students don't see themselves whenever they're coming to visit campus, how are they going to feel like this is a place that they can be successful in?
The last story gives a look into the life of film director Fritz Kirsch. The story focuses on Kirsch's life from childhood to now teaching at OU. Kirsch shows passion and love for his art and professorship in this story, expressing how much he admires seeing students follow their passions. Here's Kirsch.
Hanging around with students and getting them to realize that they have a point of view. There's a responsibility that they have to say something and not just be existing, but to do something. Life has a purpose. Is what makes it fun. So talking to students and getting them excited about saying something is what it's all about.
If you want to hear more about OU Daily's winter magazine, check out the special episode of Newsbeat from earlier this week. Let's look at the Daily's calendar for coming events this week. On Friday night, OU women's basketball competes against Grambling. Wrestling will compete in Missouri, and the University Theater presents the Nutcracker. On Saturday, catch Crimson and Queens in the Oklahoma Memorial Ballroom.
On Sunday, wrestling competes in West Virginia. End of the week, men's basketball plays Providence with free admission to OU students, and open study hours will be held by various campus organizations as students prepare for finals. The Daily's calendar of events is filling up. The calendar tab on our website features campus, city, and statewide events.
Thanks for listening to Newsbeat from OU Daily. This is the Daily's weekly news podcast. New episodes of Newsbeat will air every Friday. In between episodes, keep up with us throughout the week on Facebook at OU Daily and Instagram and Threads at the OU Daily. Sports fans, be sure to check out the OU Daily Sports Podcast for the latest in sports and commentary.
If you'd like to donate to student media, check out oudaily.com/donate. To read more about the stories you heard on this podcast, you can find those and more online at oudaily.com.
My name is Peggy Dodd. I'm a news editor here at the Daily.
My name's Megan Pratt. I'm a news reporter here at the Daily. We'll see you here next week on the Newsbeat.